Chairman of the Barbados Olympic Association, Inc., the Honorable Charles Griffith, Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, Ms. Yolande Howard, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Ms. Sandra Osborne, SCMKC, President of the Barbados Olympic Association, Inc., Mr. Steve Stout, GCM, immediate past President of the Barbados Olympic Association, Inc., Mr. Cameron Burke, Vice President of the BOA, Mr. Erskine Simmons, BSM, Secretary General of the BOA, and other members of the BOA Board of Management, Mr. MacDonald Fingal, Chairman of the National Sports Council, Ms. Shelley-Ann Hee Chung, General Manager, IGT, Antilles Lotteries, Ms. Frida Nichols, President of Olympians Barbados, Presidents and Secretaries of National Federations, Mr. Glenn Clark, General Manager of the Barbados Olympic Association, Inc., and other members of staff, our nominees and award winners, members of the 1962 Central American and Caribbean Games team, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Barbados Olympic Association's 2022 awards ceremony and dinner, proudly sponsored this evening by IGT. We extend a warm welcome to those joining us on CBC TV 8 and online via Facebook and YouTube. I now invite the President of the Barbados Olympic Association, Ms. Sandra Osborne, to deliver the official welcome address. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Osborne to the podium.
Thank you, Madam Master of Ceremonies, for your kind introduction. Your Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, President of Barbados, Honorable Charles Griffith, Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mrs. Yolanda Howard, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Mr. MacDonald Fingal, Chairman, National Sports Council, and Mr. Neil Murrell, Director, National Sports Council. Mr. Steve Stout, immediate past President of the Barbados Olympic Association, and fellow directors, management and staff of the BOA. Mr. Michael Simmons, former Secretary General of the Barbados Olympic Association. Ms. Shelley-Ann Hee Chung, General Manager, IGT Antilles Lotteries. Presidents and Secretaries of National Federations, Ms. Frida Nichols, President of Olympians Barbados, award winners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media, friends in sport, good evening. The honor is conferred on the President every year to extend a welcome to the Barbados Olympic Association's annual awards ceremony. I do so on behalf of the board, management, and staff, and it is not an honor I take lightly, as we at the BOA are very aware of the remarkable dedication and commitment of those we honor tonight. Indeed, the BOA exists to serve our athletes whose sporting achievements we are here to celebrate. Your Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra, our beloved President, our dear friend, the Honorable Minister of Sport, other distinguished guests, it is my honor to welcome you to our first in-person awards ceremony since the pandemic. I wish to recognize specially the presence of Shelley-Ann Hee Chung, General Manager of IGT Antilles Lotteries. IGT, as the operator of Barbados Lotteries, has been a long-standing supporter and sponsor of the BOA. It is true to say that without them, much of what we do would not be possible. I acknowledge your significant role as a major sponsor of tonight's ceremony, and thank you for your belief in what we do. I want also to acknowledge the presence of Michael Simmons, the first Secretary General of the BOA, as well as the members of the Barbados team to the 1962 Central American and Caribbean Games held in Kingston, Jamaica, some 60 years ago, and whom we have the honor of recognizing tonight. To all the other awardees, we warmly welcome you as we say thank you for making Barbados proud. We are here to celebrate the excellence and success for which every athlete strives. But while we acknowledge and celebrate outstanding performances tonight, we must remember that sport is, in my own words, more than just sport. Sport is increasingly being acknowledged as one of the key pillars of socioeconomic development. It is a unique tool that is at the service of humankind to achieve a better society. Many of the important issues facing our society today are issues that either affect sport directly or are issues to which sport can contribute, thereby strengthening its role in society. And so, it is not surprising that the focus on the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is equally relevant to sport as it is to other areas of endeavor. My call tonight is for participants in sport to reflect on how sport can be an enabler for the achievement of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals designed to secure the future of our people and our planet. We have a role to play in achieving these goals and advancing social progress by contributing to the development of peace and nonviolence by promoting tolerance and the Olympic values of friendship, excellence, and respect. We have a role to play in communities and sports and schools in the areas of health and well-being and education, where sport has tremendous impact. Movement and physical literacy are the foundation of sport and a driver of physical fitness. Sport instills healthy lifestyle choices among children and young people, helping them to be conscious of nutrition and to remain active to combat non-communicable diseases. The positive effect of physical exercise on mental health is also well documented, as we at the same time recognize that the mental health of our elite athletes is as important as their physical well-being. We have a role to play too in gender equality and in the empowerment of women in areas where they are underrepresented in sport. While we do not have a gender issue among our active athletes, there is an opportunity for us to encourage more women to qualify as coaches and technical officials and to assume positions of leadership, areas where men still outnumber women in Barbados. Equally, we have a role to play in sport in promoting sustainability and sustainable communities, and by, among other things, reducing our use of plastics and promoting responsible consumption and recycling practices. Globally, sporting activity consumes water in millions of plastic bottles. We also use a lot of plastics in our sporting equipment and facilities. And although we in Barbados have a small environmental footprint and little control over what is available for consumption, we can still play our part by sensitizing stakeholders to the need to reduce the use of plastics and to recycle. The United Nations has also published the UN Sport for Climate Action Framework, which provides a roadmap for how national Olympic committees, such as the BOA and other sport organizations, can play a role in climate action and climate change. Our Prime Minister has articulated very eloquently on the world stage the current action needed around climate change. But we in sport have a duty to educate ourselves on how we can collaborate to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote a low-carbon sport economy by implementing sustainable practices in the race to net zero. The Association of National Olympic Committees has itself signed up with the UN Sport for Climate Action Framework and is encouraging national Olympic committees to adopt the framework with the production of a special handbook to help the NOCs in their work on sustainability. But our role goes further than the SDGs. We have a duty to protect and safeguard those in sport, especially those who are vulnerable by virtue of the power dynamics in various sporting relationships. This year, the BOA approved a safeguarding policy and procedures designed, when fully rolled out, to assist national federations in protecting their athletes from harassment and abuse in sport. The director of our National Olympic Academy, Venetia Cadogan, is the BOA's safeguarding officer and is currently undergoing training by the International Olympic Committee in safeguarding. Her role is to educate and sensitize participants in sport about safe sport and provide support as required. Our senior administrative officer with responsibility for major games, Gail Craig Archer, and General Manager Glenn Clark have been named as safeguarding focal point officers and will act as primary points of contact for reporting incidents of harassment and abuse in sport. We must also ramp up our education about ethical behavior, integrity, and fair play in sport. We have approved a policy on the prevention of manipulation of competition, and Kendia Brathwaite, Program Officer in the Olympic Academy, is our single point of contact in this area. We must be conscious that sports betting poses a potential risk to athletes to engage in match fixing, spot fixing, and otherwise manipulating the outcomes of competition, all of which run counter to fair play and the essential tenets of Olympism. We, of course, collaborate with the National Anti-Doping Organization in the provision of education to our athletes, but see the opportunity to extend the National Anti-Doping Education Program to young school children, even as they are getting involved in primary school athletics and other sports. Your Excellency, I dare say that I have merely touched the surface of these topics, as time does not permit me to expand on the many sub-themes underlying more than just sport. But suffice it to say that as we look forward to 2023, my simple message is that the Barbados sports community must think more deeply about the critical role of sport outside of mere preparation for competition, so that we can leverage the truly transformative power of sport into the future. And speaking of the future, we have another busy year ahead of us in 2023 with 4 multi-sport games. The Central American and Caribbean Games in El Salvador, with some events such as equestrian and hockey being hosted in the Dominican Republic. The Commonwealth Youth Games with events shared between Trinidad and Tobago. The Association of National Olympic Committees Beach Games in Bali, Indonesia, and the Pan Am Games in Santiago, Chile. We look forward to these games with great anticipation, coming as they do on the heels of what must have been one of our most successful years to date. At the inaugural Caribbean Games, Guadeloupe 2022, the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham 2022, and the inaugural Central American and Caribbean Beach and Sea Games, Santa Marta 2022. Across these 3 games, Barbados had 13 podium finishes in 6 sports, coming away with 1 record-breaking gold medal performance, which we will never forget, and 8 silver and 4 bronze medals. The medals were split pretty evenly between male and female events, and it was refreshing that 2 of the medals were won by female team sports, netball and rugby. Many of these athletes, excluding those not at liberty to take cash because of college scholarship commitments, have benefited from our medal incentive scheme. And the results across these 3 games were truly impressive. 6 medals in athletics, 2 medals in swimming, 2 in surfing, 1 in netball, 1 in wrestling, and 1 in rugby. In addition, athletes from our affiliated national federations made the podium or had other successes in their own international and continental competitions in athletics, motoring, squash, cycling, shooting, chess, wrestling, and rowing, to name just a few. They are also to be warmly congratulated. I can think of no better note on which to end my welcome remarks than to say a job well done to all athletes in 2022. Those who won medals, those who came so close to standing on the podium, and those who gave of their very best. It was an outstanding year, and we are proud of your performances. In closing, it just remains for me to say enjoy the rest of the evening and accept our best wishes for a happy Christmas and good health in the new year. As we reminisce on 2022, with video highlights of some truly memorable performances. I thank you.
And I think that's almost the most important. Oh, great shot.
Mixed quality. Last ball. Now a delivering chance for a wicket. That's it.
Without told over the PA that
And that's her best apparatus today. What a great way to...
B from Kamal as his pirouettes and comes back into play. Behind the back. He's just clipped.
these are great sprinters. Congratulations.
Maybe 7 meters at the line. 49.91. It's a games record at last in a Commonwealth Games winning 400 final. The 50-second barrier has been broken.
But y'all scored those. To finish with a medal, to finish here internationally is a privilege, is an honor.
Words can't describe the feeling. Every time I wear my Beijing colors, it brings me great pride and joy to represent my country.
Truly an exciting 2022 indeed. Now, tonight we are honored to have with us the Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, the Honorable Charles Griffith. Minister Griffith joins us in this capacity for the first time since his appointment earlier this year. Minister Griffith, I invite you to the podium to deliver your remarks.
When you do some mileage maintenance. Your Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, President of Barbados, Ms. Yolande Howard, Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Sir Austin Seeley, Honorable IOC Member, Mr. MacDonald Fingal, Chairman of the National Sports Council, Ms. Sandra Osborne, President of the Barbados Olympic Association, members of the media, especially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be standing here as Minister of Sports because I would have been involved in sports at every possible level, player, coach, administrator, and now the Minister of Sports. But allow me, before I get into the meat of my address, to share with you a couple of facts about an organization. Tonight, the theme, Fueling the Passion, and I will speak to that. An organization that was in existence for 60 years, an organization that is representing, or let's say the parent of 39 national federations and the Paralympic Association. The vision of the association to be a leader in transforming lives throughout sports. Some of the mission statement, to be a model of good governance and ethics, to assist athletes in fulfilling their ambitions, to promote all aspects of sports. Please, I will probably come later, but help me celebrate the Barbados Olympic Association. Now, as Minister of Sports, when I came in January, there was one focus: to move sports in Barbados to a level that will make all of us proud. As the minister, I have triggered some sports at grassroots level, but you would have seen during this year that we had several athletes that would have made us proud by hitting podium. Our task is to ensure that we can continue to have those athletes on island to make podium. The task is a mammoth one, but I am committed as Minister of Sports. I'm committed by extension by my government, by the cabinet, by everyone, to ensure that we are able to uncover those diamonds in the rough across this country. To that extent, I have triggered several training programs. Only recently, you would have seen 27 new coaches in football, that we can ensure that we have a widespread of coaches across this country. I would have been the recipient of training from the same BOA at the administrative level, and it is my hope that several of our national federations would reach out to the same BOA, because we need strong national federations to drive sport in this country. I believe that we can achieve the same level of success as countries that are twice, maybe 3 times our size, but we must be focused. Fueling passion. It is something that I come to work every single day, and my team at the Ministry of Sports, to ensure that we can fuel passion. We need to uncover all of those persons who are interested in sports and to pave a way to do that, to pave a way for all of the youngsters. But we cannot work, and I will not fool myself to believe that I can work in a silo to achieve that. So hence we are forging ties, closer ties with the BOA, in an attempt to ensure that we can do what is necessary, what is best for all of our athletes. Now, we would have seen Sadia Williams and the others, like I said, doing what they do best. The passion, the desire for success is there. As a government, twinning with BOA, I believe that we can do that. But we need support. We need support from corporate Barbados to come on board and to fill some of the gaps that are there. If we get the support from corporate Barbados, we can achieve tenfold what we are doing now. And I'm asking every single time that I hit a podium and there's a speaker, a stage, I will continue to ask Barbados to reach out. We recently had a road tennis competition that was sponsored by a company that was not 6 months on island. $40,000 by Z-Money into a road tennis competition. And I have said repeatedly that if you go into several business establishments on this island, you will not see a single athlete hanging on the wall. We cannot be celebrating our athletes and refuse to do the necessary things to support them at that level. We have tonight athletes who are being awarded from, 60 years ago? And these are the persons that we are building on. Those are the ones who would have done what is necessary at that point in time to bring a certain level of pleasure to our country. I have asked for some things in the ministry that I believe will benefit our athletes. One of the things that I want to do is to establish a national hall of fame for our athletes. We have the facilities at the gymnasium. It is one of the plans. Plans are in train to do that. I was sharing that this year we took over the SAT program, and we have 27 young persons who may not necessarily be able to fund that program in private. And my government is putting plans in place to ensure that we have continuity as far as that is concerned. I want to celebrate all of the athletes tonight who would have made us proud, because I am aware of the sacrifice that is involved in the process. Blood, sweat, and tears are involved in the process. If you want it bad enough, you must find it. It must be innate for you to fuel the passion in order to get to podium and to get to the finish line. And I encourage all of us, because like I said, it cannot be a single entity that is responsible in any way for moving our athletes forward. We must be there to encourage youth, sports, and community empowerment. Youth and sports will equate to community empowerment. And we must understand that. And I believe that all that we're seeing now on island in terms of some of the negativity among our youth, that we can curb it as through the delivery of sports at community level. And I am on a crusade to do that. My team at the ministry is on a crusade to ensure that we can have sports being played all over this country. And we are inclusive. So our national sports policy early next year will go to Parliament to ensure that we have a roadmap to the journey that we're looking to go on. It is not there yet because we had to tweak some things to ensure that it is all inclusive, that no one will be left out in relation to that sports policy. It is the plank that we will build on. It is the planks are there to take sports forward to the next level. And I encourage you to join us. Like I said, it is not something that we can do alone. And my Prime Minister constantly says that many hands make light work. And sports is $1 billion industry. And we are looking to ensure that on every single term that we can cash in on that money. To that end, we're looking to see how best that we can attract teams to come to Barbados to practice during the off-season. This year, I met with a coach who he's looking to bring 8 college teams to Barbados. That is the way that we will trigger the sports tourism. We're looking to see if we can have a beach volleyball place at the gymnasium, beach volleyball court. And when I said that, somebody asked me, but how can you have beach volleyball by the gymnasium? And I asked them in Birmingham, where's the sea? So we are doing what we can. We're doing all in our power to ensure that we can trigger that. I celebrate our athletes tonight. I celebrate all of you who will be receiving awards. One of the things that I will ask of you is that you must give back. It is important that you give back. I am not saying that you have to donate cash, but a word. Come to our primary schools and share your journey with our young people. Let them see you and let them understand that this is something that they too can accomplish. The dedication, the hard work, all of it. And I believe that if we have more and more athletes who are prepared to give back in that vein, then we can see a rise in terms of how many athletes we can produce on this country. We're small, but we can have a Beijing experience. And what do I mean by that? When the Olympics went to Beijing, Beijing made a conscious decision to target those particular disciplines that they believe they can meet podium. And we need to be strategic in Barbados because I keep saying that we are pouring from a single cup in government. There's not one cup for the Ministry of Sports and one cup for each ministry. There's one cup that we're pouring in every single ministry. But we need to be targeted. We need to be specific in terms of how we treat the dollars that we have. And if we can do that, and if we can put the necessary funds behind athletes who are emerging or those athletes who are already there, then every single time that they move across the finish line, they will continue to take a whole nation with them. And that is what we have to do. Be specific, be targeted in terms of how we treat to it, and I believe that we can reach more success. In closing, I want to wish all of our athletes the very best in 2023. We expect that what happened this year will be replicated tenfold in terms of those who make podium, because our country needs to have a feel-good at every single term. And one of the areas and one of the sets, the groups of people who can do that is our athletes. Years ago, it used to be the West Indies team. Now we need to turn and look inward to Barbados for our athletes to do that. I wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas, and let's hope for success in 2023. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Griffith. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are celebrating 60 years of the Barbados Olympic Association's participation in international games. 1962 was the first year that Barbados sent a team to an international sporting meet, The occasion was the Central American and Caribbean Games held in Kingston, Jamaica. Tonight, we pay tribute to that pioneering team and honor the distinguished men and women, living and deceased, who proudly represented Barbados at these games.
This year marks the 60th anniversary of Barbados' first participation in the Central American and Caribbean Games. Since those games, we've participated in every CAC game, the last one being in 2018 in Barranquilla, Colombia. The next games are scheduled for 2023 in El Salvador. The 1962 team comprised of 41 athletes and 4 officials. Then President of the BOA, Louis Lynch, General Manager Michael Simmons, and Assistant General Managers Kenneth Ince and Alan Long. The team participated in athletics, basketball, boxing, cycling, weightlifting, swimming, tennis, shooting, and water polo, and won 6 medals. Most of the surviving team members are with us tonight and will be recognized as pioneers in Barbados sporting history. The deceased members were Robert Bishop, Chester Cheltenham, Erskine Doughton, Carl Garnes, Adrian Garnes, Anthony Gregor, Winston Lucas, Rolric Miller, Anthony Seeley, Richard Brown, David Burke, Milton Tucker, and Arthur Warren. Medal winners who, unfortunately, are now deceased were Patsy Callender in the high jump, who won the lone silver medal. Peter Johnson in boxing, with a bronze medal. Winston Bourne in weightlifting, also with a bronze medal. The deceased members of the water polo team were Charles Clark, Mark Gittins, Lorenzo Best, George McLean, Carl Bailey, and Jeffrey Foster. And the surviving members of the team are Clarence Gilks, Randolph Cheeseman, and Neville Humphrey. The surviving members in other sports are Caspar Springer, track and field, James Wedderburn, track and field, who is renowned as being Barbados' first Olympic medalist in the Rome 1960 Olympic Games as a member of the West Indies team. Ian Small, basketball, Vernon Paris, cycling, Angus Edghill, swimming, Christopher Gibbs, also in swimming, and Tyrone Mapp along with Noreen King for tennis. The surviving medal winners are Anton Norris, who won a bronze medal at the CAC Games. Later that year, he would go on to also win a bronze medal at the 1962 Commonwealth Games, held in Perth, Australia, in the high jump. John Burke and Charles Reds Packer, who were members of the bronze medal winning water polo team. And Stephen Lewis, who won a bronze medal in boxing. Tonight, we salute these sporting trailblazers who tell many stories of their first multi-games encounter, including how the engine on the chartered aircraft that took them to Jamaica caught fire and was surrounded by fire service vehicles on landing. Sadly, on their return to Barbados in 1962, even the medal winners received little recognition. Tonight, however, we try to make amends for that oversight and pay homage to them for helping to lay the foundation for Barbadian athletes over the last 6 decades.
Now, to present these very special awards to members of that 1962 CAC Games team is Minister of Sports, Charles Griffith. We begin tonight with the first awardee, Mr. Angus Edghill. We continue with the other members who are here with us tonight. Sydney Bradshaw. John Burke. Clarence Jilks. Tyrone Mapp. Anton Norris. Vernon Paris. Mr. Paris will be represented this evening by his nephew, Charles Lynch. Harold Russell. Ian Small. Casper Springer. And James Wedderburn. Congratulations once again to our 1962 awardees, and thank you, Minister Griffith, for making these presentations. To introduce and present the very next special award, I want to call on a man who is one of the longest-serving sports administrators in Barbados. His unique achievements are numerous. He was the founding member and now honorary life president of the Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees. He's the only Barbadian to preside over an international multi-sport organization, being the past president of CACSO, now known as Centro Caribe Sports, and presided over the 2018 Central American and Caribbean Games in Barranquilla, Colombia. He has the distinction of serving on the National Sports Council Board for 21 years, 12 of those years as chairman. He's the only Barbadian to have been accorded the Olympic Order of Merit. He was bestowed with the National Honor of GCM in 2019 and served the Barbados Olympic Association as an executive member from 1968 to date. Ladies and gentlemen, I call on the immediate past president of the Barbados Olympic Association, Mr. Steve Stout.
Thank you very much, Madam. Your Excellency, Minister, President Osborne, protocol having been established, I must confess that it is a distinct privilege and honor for me to introduce the recipient of the next award. To do this, I must delve into the 60-year history of this organization. On the demise of the West Indies Olympic Association in 1962, and it was with the West Indies Olympic Association that James won a bronze medal in 1960 in Tokyo. It was with the late Louis Lynch that our award winner launched the Barbados Olympic Association, the National Olympic Committee of Barbados, and led the first ever Barbados team to the 1962 Central American and Caribbean Games. With Lynch as president, he was the first Secretary General of the BOA, and following the untimely death of Mr. Lynch in 1969, he was elected president of the BOA and served in that position until he resigned in 1980. In 1975, he was the first Barbadian to be elected to the executive committee of a continental Olympic organization, namely the Pan American Sports Organization, which today is known as Pan Am Sports. Shortly after that election, he became the first person from the Caribbean, and indeed the first black man to be elected treasurer of the Pan Am Sports, and served in that position unchallenged until his resignation in 1993. In 2019, at the Pan Am Sports General Assembly in Lima, Peru, he was conferred with a special award by the President and the Executive of Pan Am Sports in recognition for his significant contribution to the continental Olympic sports movement. Excellency, distinguished guests, for this significant contribution to Barbados and regional Olympic movement, it gives me great pleasure to call on Mr. Hugh Michael Simmons, one of the founding fathers of our organization, to come forward and receive this very special award. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Simmons.
Michael Simmons is the only surviving official from the 1962 Games, and he is the founding father of local and regional Olympic movements.
Thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hugh Michael Simmons.
This evening, we are also presenting awards to employees of the Barbados Olympic Association who have given long-standing service to the organization. And to present these awards tonight is BOA President Sandra Osborne. Tonight, we first acknowledge Eric Ward Driver, Unfortunately, Mr. Ward couldn't be here with us this evening, but he's being recognized in honor of 10 years of devoted service. The next award goes to Mr. Glenn Clark, General Manager of the Barbados Olympic Association, in honor of 15 years of devoted service. Also in honor of 15 years of devoted service, Paula Jarvis, Administrative Assistant. And finally, Gail Craig Archer. Gail is the Senior Office Administrator with responsibility for major games in honor of 20 years of devoted service. Please, turn to the camera. Congratulations to the awardees. And President Osborne, I invite you to remain on stage for the next presentation. Now, we have another special award to present tonight. This awardee is being recognized for extraordinary dedication and service to the BOA, particularly during the pandemic. The Dedicated Service Award goes to Jasper Blades. Thank you very much, Madam President Osborne. We will now have a message from Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Amor Maudsley. Ms. Maudsley became Barbados's 8th and first female Prime Minister on May 28, 2018. Now, unfortunately, Prime Minister Maudsley could not be physically with us tonight, but we invite you to view her pre-recorded message.
President of the Barbados Olympic Association, Sandra Osborne, members of the Board of Directors, BOA members, athletes, all of you. I come to you with a brief but heartfelt message on your 60th anniversary. Simply said, thank you, well done, and keep up the good work. My friends, this year, 2022, has truly been a year like no other. We've seen our athletes across all disciplines perform on the world stage and bring immense pride and honor to our nation. It is important to note that this success is the result of decades of work and commitment. You have built upon a good foundation, and my government's desire is that we deepen our investment and focus on sports development to build even more and more such that you can reap rewards and we as a nation can reap them. We also know that this is the basis of the beginning. We've not gotten where we know we can go or where we want to go. I note with pleasure that tonight you recognize also those pioneer athletes who took part in our first CAC Games. And while also acknowledged that our current sportsmen and women are at the same time being acknowledged today, we are happy that you can go back and let us look at the foundation. Thank you for your commitment to the development of high-performance sport, the training of sports administrators, and the fundamental principles of what it is to participate in the Olympics: excellence, friendship, and respect. Well done on your development and growth over the years for taking Barbados' representation at the international level to even higher levels. I could not possibly end without a special message to our national sports people. I want to say that it fills my heart with so much joy and so much pride that through your efforts and accomplishments, you have been able to rally and inspire Bajans of all walks of life. But as I said earlier, this is just the beginning, and we know where you can take us with the requisite support, discipline, and commitment, not only from yourselves and your trainers, but from us all. And we look forward to going on that journey with you, because it is only when we reach the very, very top that we can then turn the corner definitively for our people. You are truly, my friends, the embodiment of our ability as a small nation that can show always that with effort, skill, and discipline, we can truly punch above our weight. Thank you, and continue the wonderful work that you're doing so we may reach even those higher heights. Thank you.
And we send a special thank you to Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Ladies and gentlemen, we now recognize the hard work and dedication of our coaches, those who help to hone the skills of our athletes. It's time for the Coach of the Year Award.
The nominees in the category for Coach of the Year Award are Shakira Wade, badminton; Dave Farmer, swimming; Yaima Payne, wrestling.
And to present the award for the Coach of the Year is BOA board member Dr. Adrian Lord. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Coach of the Year Award goes to long-standing swim coach Dave Farmer. Thank you, Dr. Lord, and congratulations to Dave Farmer. Up next is the International Excellence Award.
The nominees in the category of International Excellence Award are Shade Williams, athletics; Erin Pinder, gymnastics; Zayn Maloney, motoring; Chelsea Tua, surfing; Joshua Burke, surfing.
And ladies and gentlemen, to present this award is a BOA board member, Dr. Sasha Sutherland. And with that, the 2022 International Excellence Award goes to Commonwealth Games gold medalist and World Championship bronze medalist, Shade Williams. Thank you very much, Dr. Sutherland, and congratulations to Shade Williams. We now continue with the People's Choice Award. Now, members of the public had the opportunity to vote for their favorite athlete via social media, and tonight we reveal the winner.
The nominees in the category of People's Choice Award are Shade Williams, athletics; Shane Brathwaite, athletics; Jonathan Jones, athletics; Amber Joseph, cycling; Chelsea Tua, surfing; Joshua Burke, surfing; Jaya Simmons, swimming; Finn Armstrong, triathlon.
Ms. Shalian Hee Chung, General Manager of IGT Antilles Lotteries, will present this award. Now amassing 1,716 votes, the 2022 People's Choice Award winner is Jaya Simmons. Congratulations, Jaya, and thank you, Ms. Hee Chung. At the core of the BOA's strategic vision and direction, which seeks to inspire excellence and fuel passion, and to place athletes at the center of our work, the decision was made to reward our athletes and teams for their outstanding medal-winning performances at major games. This Performance Bonus Award serves as an acknowledgement of the athletes' hard work and commitment as they represent Team Barbados. Now, this year, as a result of the successes of our athletes and teams at the Caribbean Games, Commonwealth Games, and CAC Beach Games, the BOA has disbursed over $75,000 Barbados dollars to medal-winning teams and athletes, subject to any NCAA applicable rules, which preclude some athletes from accepting such payments. So we start now with the inaugural Caribbean Games, which were held in Guadeloupe. To present the first set of performance awards is the BOA Assistant Secretary General, Shelley-Ann Griffith. And the athletes receiving awards in this category are Kyle Gale Athletics. Kyle's award will be collected by his mother, Kay Shelley Gale. Jemuel Miller Athletics. His award is being collected by his uncle, Anderson Miller. Nathan Crawford Wallace Athletics. Danielle Treasure Swimming. And the Barbados Under-23 netball team. Congratulations to all of the medalists from the inaugural Caribbean Games. Thank you very much, Ms. Griffith. The next group of recipients for Performance Bonus Awards for their medal-winning performances attended the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. To make these presentations, I invite Vice President of the BOA, Cameron Burke, to the stage. The medal winners in this category: Shade Williams, Athletics; Shane Brathwaite, Athletics. Shane's award will be collected by Dr. June Cadell, Second Vice President of the Athletics Association of Barbados. And rounding off this category, Jonathan Jones, Athletics. Congratulations to our Commonwealth Games medalists. Thank you very much, Mr. Burke. And the final group of recipients of Performance Bonus Awards attended the first ever Central Caribe Sports Beach and Sea Games in Santa Marta, Colombia. To make these presentations is Gail Craig Archer, Senior Office Administrator with responsibility for major games at the BOA. Our medal winners were Joshua Burke, Surfing; Chelsea Tuak, Surfing; Ruben Wilcher, Wrestling. Ruben's mother, Shondette Wilcher, will collect on his behalf. And rounding off this category, the Barbados women's rugby team. Congratulations to all of our awardees, and thank you very much, Ms. Craig Archer. We now move on to our next award category, the Junior Female Athlete of the Year.
The nominees in the category of Junior Female Athlete of the Year are Hannah Wilson, Chess; Emily Odwing, Golf; Jaya Simmons, Swimming; Haley Banfield, Triathlon;
To present this award is Chair of the Barbados Athletes Commission, Mr. Sean Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Junior Female Athlete of the Year is Jaya Simmons. Jaya had an impressive year in the pool, winning 8 gold medals at the 2022 Curved Swimming Championships, followed by 3 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze individual medals at the 34th CC Can Swimming Championships. Congratulations, Jaya. Thank you, Mr. Simpson. We continue now with the Junior Male Athlete of the Year.
The nominees in the category of Junior Male Athlete of the Year are Tomoso Leson, surfing; Tariq Greenidge, swimming; Finn Armstrong, triathlon and athletics;
Mr. Craig Archer, BOA board member, will present this award. The Junior Male Athlete of the Year for 2022 is Finn Armstrong. Finn did Barbados proud at the Curved Athletics Championships in 2022, winning the Under-17 boys 3,000-meter final. He then followed that up with an exceptional performance at the Curved Triathlon Championships, winning gold in the sprint aquathlon and silver in the sprint triathlon. Congratulations, Finn, and thank you, Mr. Archer. Tonight, we also present some special recognition awards in the senior male and female athletes categories. These athletes had exceptional performances throughout 2022. We start first with the senior males. There are 2 special recognition awards in this category. To present these awards is Mr. Cameron Burke, Vice President of the BOA. The first recognition award goes to Mark Seeley. Mark had a successful year in squash competition. He won gold at the US Masters, bronze at the 2022 World Masters Squash Championships, and silver at the Canadian Squash Championships. A round of applause, please, for Mark Seeley. The second special recognition award in this category goes to Matthew Wright. Matthew continues to make his mark on the international triathlon scene. Included in his performances this year is a first-place finish in the Elite Men's Asia Triathlon Cup. We move on now to the Senior Female Recognition Awards. To present these awards, I invite Mr. Orson Simpson, Treasurer of the BOA, to the stage. The first female senior special recognition award goes to Karen Meekins. Karen Meekins won gold at the 2022 World Masters Squash Championships. The second special recognition award goes to cyclist Amber Joseph. Joseph has been exceptional on the track this year, winning gold and 2 silver medals at the Pan American Cycling Championships. Collecting on her behalf this evening is Mr. Charles Lynch, President of the Barbados Cycling Union. Thank you very much, Mr. Simpson. Now we move on to the Senior Male and Female Athletes of the Year Awards. To present both of these awards, I invite Ms. Sandra Osborne, President of the BOA, and Minister of Sports, the Honorable Charles Griffith, to the stage. First, the Senior Male Athlete of the Year.
The nominees in the category of Senior Male Athlete of the Year are Jonathan Jones, Athletics; Shane Brathwaite, Athletics; Mark Seeley, Squash; Matthew Wright, Triathlon.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Senior Male Athlete of the Year is Shane Brathwaite. Ever consistent, Shane has won a silver medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Receiving this award on his behalf is Dr. June Cadell, second Vice President of the Athletics Association of Barbados.
As ever, the 110 hurdles could provide us with all sorts of drama. Not always about who's the fastest coming into this, it's who keeps their nerve, who can rely on their technique, deliver the performance that takes the title. Good start from Zala, brought Bell away quickly as well, but it got left a little bit. Pozzi is right there as well, over to the far side. Brathwaite is it. It's Broadbell at the moment, and Andy Pozzi is charging. It's Broadbell who's going to take the title for Jamaica. Brathwaite the silver, and a dive for the line. May have got the bronze for Pozzi.
Congratulations to Shane Brathwaite, the Senior Male Athlete of the Year. And now for the Senior Female Athlete of the Year for 2022.
The nominees in the category of Senior Female Athlete of the Year are Shade Williams, Athletics; Amber Joseph, Cycling; Karen Meekins, Squash; Daniel Treasure, Swimming.
And the winner of the Senior Female Athlete of the Year is Shade Williams. Sade won gold in the women's 400 meters at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. She also won the bronze medal in the 400 meters at the 2022 World Athletics Championships, becoming the first Barbadian woman to win a medal at that event.
Miller-Weibo in lane 3. Williams on the outside. Paulino is trying to get in the mix for the podium. And while she is coming past Williams, it's going to be all gold for Miller-Weibo. The record breaker, the history maker. Paulino takes the silver, Williams the bronze for Barbados.
Congratulations, Sade, and thank you very much, Minister Griffith. Madam President, I invite you to remain on stage to make the final presentation, that is the President's Award.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to give you some background into how I go about choosing these awardees. I try to look for an athlete who has shown some longevity, some success over a period of time, as opposed to just winning one race. And this year, it was very, very difficult because we had some outstanding performances across a number of sports. But when all was said and done, I don't think that we could not accept that the record-breaking gold medal win of Sade Williams was, I think above all else, the premier performance for Barbados. So it gives me great pleasure to invite Sade onto the stage to accept the President's Award.
Well, it's all about judgment. We had a bizarre judgment call in the men's race with a champion who came through from way back. But look at the Malawi athlete, Simwaka, blasting away centre of picture in lane 5. She's already shot past Kyra Constantine, Sada Williams and Constantine of Canada. Sada Williams in the yellow there, third from left now, just beginning to ease into her run. Simwaka covered the first 200 insanely quickly. Ohurugu in the white and red there, third from right for England, going really well in lane 4. But at the moment, Sada Williams of Barbados has the lead by a convincing margin. And into the straight, the rest of them have got a lot of work to do. Ohurugu's coming through, maybe for the silver, but surely not going to get back to the Barbadian Williams. Williams storming away to this one. The margin is 6 metres, maybe 7 metres at the line. 49.91. It's a games record at last in a Commonwealth Games Women's 400 final. The 50-second barrier has been broken, and emphatically so. 49.90. Well, she was running conservatively, as we now know, in her heat, which she won in 51.6. She won a semi,
Ladies
as I said,
and
in
gentlemen, it gives me
51.5.
great
She was
pleasure
ranked number 2
to
in the
invite to the
Commonwealth,
podium
coming here
the winner
behind
of the
Shawnee
President's
Miller-Weibo,
Award,
the world
Sade
champion,
Williams.
who chose not to run here. And she upholds her status as favourite and wins comfortably. And Ohurugu there takes the superb silver medal. Sada Williams, 49.90, a games record.
But really, really good from Williams. The 24-year-old came and delivered
I'm extremely
one of the centre lanes. That was a really good race.
It was a good race. And Sada Williams, well, she's third on the world this year with her bronze medal run.
The successes I had this past season would not have been possible without the contributions and encouragement of so many people. Too many to name, but you know who you are. And I sincerely thank each one of you for helping me make this a memorable season and for giving me a chance to win this award. I am excited to keep building on my achievements and promise to work harder, smarter, and with more devotion, so I can hopefully add to this award and continue to represent my family, my country, my coach, and my team. proudly and to the best of my abilities. Once again, thank you very much for this award.
Tonight for me to stand before this illustrious gathering of sporting excellence and deliver tonight's vote of thanks. Firstly, the Barbados Olympic Association is honored to have enjoyed the company of Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, President of Barbados and patron of the Barbados Olympic Association. It therefore gives me tremendous pleasure to thank you on behalf of my association for gracing us with your presence. A special thank you from our President, Ms. Sandra Osborne, and members of her executive committee is also extended to our Prime Minister, Mia Amar Motley, for the recorded greeting and acknowledgement of the outstanding successes achieved by our athletes during this year. The pride in your delivery will certainly resonate across our country towards these outstanding young men and women whom we honor tonight. Special thanks is also extended to all the members of the Diplomatic Corps. We are honored to have you in our presence. Minister Griffith, for rendering an address which was punctuated with very salient remarks. Please be assured that this National Olympic Committee will continue to work with your ministry to enhance not only the sporting infrastructure, but also strategies to create a much healthier Barbados. Our President, Sandra Osborne, was gracious in welcoming her guests and shared insights of the Olympic Committee's vision for further developing the sporting infrastructure and landscape of Barbados. Madam President, I'm sure my colleagues on the Executive Board stand in unison with your comments and sentiments. I look forward to working with you well in the future to fulfill that mission and vision. Ms. Chalian Hichong and IGT, we are indebted to you for being part of tonight's proceedings. We are pleased to emphasize that the Barbados Lottery is not only the primary sponsor of this event, but is also the lifeblood of the Barbados Olympic movement. IGT's involvement in our awards and other activities of my NOC epitomizes its commitment to the Olympic Committee of Barbados. Please know that you are deeply appreciated. Our appreciation to the founding father, Michael Simmons and Mrs. Simmons, for joining us tonight from their home in Florida. We thank you for your vision and outstanding service during the early years of developing our NOC, as was definitely outlined by Mr. Steve Stout, immediate past president, during your introduction. It's an honor to have you as part of this celebration of our sporting excellence. To the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, we thank you for broadcasting tonight's event live. This no doubt enhanced the prestige and scope of the ceremony. I also take time to recognize other members of the media. Indeed, you are very important to the BOA, and we're very much in your debt for the support not only of tonight's function, but all for all of your major for all of our major projects and programs. A special commendation to the BOA Awards Commission, supported by Pamela Proverbs and her staff at PRMR Inc., Mr. Paula Jarvis, Gail Craig Archer, Yutana Wiggins, and other members of the Commission, who toiled relentlessly to ensure that tonight's event was a success. The management and staff of the Hilton, who receives a special commendation for the significant part they played in tonight's successful event. Our Master of Ceremonies, Ms. Marsha Boyce, the BOA pays special tribute to you for taking us through this evening's program in such a masterful manner. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Dame Sandra, Minister Griffith, Mike Sims, and indeed to each and every one of you, on behalf of President Sandra Osborne and the Executive Council of the Barbados Olympic Association, I extend our gratitude for your attendance, which we greatly contributed to the successful hosting of this night's annual awards gala. I now wish one and all safe homeward journey and travels, and take this opportunity to extend heartfelt greetings for a blessed Christmas and a happy and healthy and productive 2023. I'm yours, I'm Ursa Simmons, Secretary General. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the 2022 awards ceremony of the Barbados Olympic Association, Inc., proudly sponsored by IGT. I am Marsha Boyce, and I join with the Secretary General in thanking all of you for your attendance. To everyone here and those viewing on CBC TV 8 and online on Facebook and YouTube, we wish you a pleasant night, a blessed Christmas, and a happy and healthy 2023.